Hey everyone, this is day 2 of finding area. Today we're going to find the area of kites, rhombuses, circles, and sectors. So I just wanted to start off by showing you guys, this is the module 11 notes. So here is where I'm putting like all of your notes. So please use this. Have this tab open as you're working on your homework. It's got the formulas from last time. It's got our Pythagorean triples here. It has our 45, 45, 30, 60, 90 triangle. It's got our new stuff for today. So here's the formulas for the area of rhombuses and kites. They have the same formula. What we do is we take 1/2 times diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. And the diagonals are just the length all the way across the rhombus or the kite. So you can see that on the rhombus here, diagonal 1 in red goes all the way across. Diagonal 2 goes all the way across. So it's just the length of the two diagonals. Okay, so you multiply those two together and divide by 2 or times it by 1/2. Here's our area formula for circles, pi r squared. So hopefully you guys remember that. Sectors, we have the formula there. And then we are going to do one here where we're kind of finding that blue piece area. All right, so let's get to our examples here. All right, so these first 3 problems are rhombuses. So for finding the area of these rhombuses, we just need to find the lengths of their diagonals. All right, so one thing to remember from back in chapter 7 when we were learning about our quadrilaterals is that the diagonals of a rhombus are bisected. So if this piece is 30, then this piece is 30. So therefore the first diagonal would be 60. And if that diagonal piece is 20, then this diagonal piece would be 20, so therefore the entire diagonal would be 40. All right, so we're going to take 60 times 40 divided by 2, so that's going to be 1,200, and it'll be feet squared. All right, so on the next one over here, so we know this is 8, so this would also be 8. All right, now we do not know this piece or this piece, okay? However, we do know that this little triangle right here, we've got an 8 and a 10, and again, remembering our information that we learned back in chapter 7, the diagonals of a rhombus make perpendicular. So if that's a 90-degree angle, then this is a right triangle. And then we should now know that 8 and 10, if we go ahead and we take a quick look here at our Pythagorean triples, 8 and 10 right here. So 6 would be the missing piece here. So this would be 6. And then down here would be 6. So now I have my two diagonals. So 8 and 8 would make 16. 6 and 6 would make 12, and then divide by 2. All right, so I think that's 96, and then that one would be inches squared. Okay. Last one here. Not last one, I think there's one more. So we know one of the diagonals is 6, so that one goes all the way across. So we still need to find the other diagonal, though. So we do have a hint here. We know this side is 5. So what we should probably do is go ahead and draw in the other diagonal. All right, so if I draw in this one, again, remembering that when the diagonals are drawn in a rhombus, they are bisected. So no longer is that, well, it's still 6, but now we could write 3 and 3 instead. Okay. And so now what we can do is take a look right here at this triangle. Right? So I know this piece was 3. I knew that this piece was 5, and I want to know this piece here. So again, I look at my Pythagorean triple list. Hopefully 3, 4, 5 is becoming familiar to you. And so then this piece right here would be 4. So the entire diagonal length would be 8. All right. So 6 times 8 is 48. Divided by 2 is 24, so it would be 24 meters squared. All right, on this one, Again, we know this piece is 3, so this other piece would also have to be a 3. So we know one of the diagonals then would be a 6. And we just have to find the other diagonal. Now the hint on this one is that this is a 45, 45, and again, 90. Right? The diagonals of a rhombus meet at a 90. So if this is a 45, 45, we know that the legs on a 45, 45 are the same. So if this is 3, this would be 3. This would be 3 square root 2. However, we don't need that. We only need the diagonals, but I just wanted to remind you of the 45, 45 rules. And so if this piece right here is 3, then this piece right here would be 3. So both of the diagonals are 6 in length. And again, you're wanting to know how long, so you are adding them together, right? 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. So now diagonal 6 times diagonal 6 would be 36. Divided by 2 is 18 centimeters squared. Okay? All right, so those are rhombuses. Now kites are very similar because they have the same formula. So in my first example here, the length of this diagonal would be 8 plus 8, so 16. My other diagonal here would be 8 plus, 2? So that one would be a 10. So 16 times 10 divided by 2, so that would be 80 inches squared. Okay. My next example here. So this diagonal I know is 2 and 4 would make 6. All right. And then I just need to find the length of the other diagonal. Okay, so that would be this one right here. Now, I do not know either piece. However, once again, I've got a little triangle there. And once again, the diagonals of a kite we learned back in chapter 7. So see how this is all important. These are also 90 in a kite. So this is a right triangle. We know we have a 4 and a 5. Again, Pythagorean triple, this would have to be 3. 3, 4, 5 is our Pythagorean triple. On a kite, again, we also learned back in chapter 7 that one of the diagonals is bisected. So obviously if this is 2 and this is 4, it's not bisected. So if this is a 3, this would have to be a 3. So that would also be a length of 6. And so 36 times 2, 6 times 6 is 36, divided by 2 would be 18 meters squared. Okay. All right. Next one. My first diagonal here is going to be 4 and 4, so that would make an 8. Right, so that whole diagonal is 8 units in length. All right, now this next one here, this whole diagonal here, it's saying is 6. So that one was really easy. Right, so 8 times 6 is 48, divided by 2 is 24 feet squared. All right, so last kite example here. All right. Okay. All right, so once again, I see a 45, 45, and once again, this would be a 90, okay, because it's a kite. So we're using our 45, 45, 90 rules. And again, if you don't remember what they are, go back to your Module 11 notes. Here is, whoops, I don't know what I did there, sorry. Here is my example, right? Okay, so right now, across from the 90 is 9 squared root 2, so that would be my hypotenuse. So that means my 2 legs are going to be 9s. Okay, and so now I should know one of my diagonals here. So this piece is 9, that piece was 6, so that diagonal would be a 15. Okay. The other diagonal, so again remembering that one of the diagonals on a kite is bisected. So if this piece is 9, this piece is 6. That's not bisected. So if this is 9, this is going to have to be 9 so that it's bisected. So that diagonal now is going to be 9 and 9 would make 18. Okay? And then we just multiply that out. Okay, so 15 times 18. What is that? So it would be 9 times 15, 15 times times 9, 45, 135. And that would be meters squared. Okay? All right. So that is our kites and our rhombuses. Circles, hopefully you remember circles. Remembering the diameter is half the distance across, the radius, or sorry, the diameter goes all the way across, the radius is half. So our formula, pi, the radius on this would be 3 squared. 3 squared is 9, and then we attach the pi. The answer, or the directions say leave your answer in terms of pi. So we are not typing in 3.14 on our calculator. Okay? So this one, pi, the diameter here is 8. So that means the radius would have to be a 4. It's halfway across. So 4 squared. Now 4 squared does not mean 4 times 2. It means 4 times itself. So that would be 16 pi. So 16 pi centimeters squared. We are not typing in the pi on our calculator. We are just leaving it hang out right there. Okay? All right, sectors. So a sector is basically just like a piece of pizza. So what we're going to do first is we're going to find the area of the entire circle. So that's what this pi r squared is. So in this case, 6 would be our radius, since the diameter is 12. So it would be pi 6 squared. So that would be 36 pi. So 36 pi would be the entire circle. That's the area of the entire circle. We don't want the whole circle. We only want this shaded portion. So it's a little bit of the circle. So what we need to do then is times it by the portion or the fraction of the circle. So that's what this means. So the measure of arc AB, what that just means is how much of the circle is it? Well, if this is 120, we remember straight angles are 180. So this would have to be 60 degrees. Okay, so that would be 60 over 360. All right, so now we're typing that in on our calculator. And what does that look like? Okay, again, we are leaving it in terms of pi. We are not typing in pi on our calculator. Okay, so 60 over 360, so 60 right, over 360 equals, right, so that's how much of the circle we want. Then we're going to go times 36. Okay, so we get 6. All right, or you could do 60, then your fraction button, and then the 360, arrow out, and then times 36. So either way we get 6. So this is going to give me 6. Attach the pi, and then it would be units squared. Okay, so the entire circle was 36 pi, so it would make sense that that portion, that little shaded part, would just be 6 pi. Okay, so on this example, our angle is 45 there and 90 there, so that would be 135 out of 360 times pi times our radius is 2 squared. So now we're ready to type that in on our calculator. All right, so it's going to be 135 over 360 times, and then you can either do 2 squared or 2 squared is 4. All right, so we get 3 over 2. So my answer is 3 over 2 pi units squared. Okay, last one here. So we know that the area of, or the angle there is 45. We remember that a whole circle is 360. So if that part is 45, then this big part here would have to be 315. So it'd be 315 over 360 times pi times 6 is the diameter, so 3 would be the radius. Okay, so now we're ready to type that in on our calculator. Yeah. All right. So it'd be fraction button here. So 315 over 360 times, and then it was 3 squared or 9. So it'd be 63 over 8 pi.